den rechten.
Bir müşteri olan
Den rechten Teil an der Nordseite.
Moving forward.
Mon sujet, quand même, c'est les plans de...
I'm here to talk about intercommunal speed regulation plans. Anyway, I'm not going to waste any time because I was told to keep it short. So I'm going to talk about speed at the end, maybe. Okay. Next slide, please. Before the slide shows up, there's a sentence that I do like now when we talk about our objectives for sustainable mobility, to put it shortly. I think that this is my line. I'm not young anymore. My priority is the city. Someone said that the city, I want to have a peaceful city. Everything goes too fast. A peaceful city, then quiet. Both quiet, but also with smooth traffic. I love when everything is smooth. Don't mistake smoothness and speed, and a bit of fresh air. And if you do that, that sells very well with decision makers at the end. And at first, it's very hard to sell them speed. Anyway, I work at the Nantes Urban Planning Agency, and for several years, we've been implementing programs to that effect, especially the intercommunal speed regulation plan called PMVI in the French acronym, and we've been implementing that for several years. I know that Frédéric Héron is going to talk about it, but I won't, because it's not peri-urban, but there's a bit of peri-urban in what can be discussed. It's yellow and red here. In yellow and orange, and in green you've got Nantes. Strong groupings of towns and cities. I told my colleague Jean-Michel that what they said was mostly about Lyon and Paris, because in the provinces we only have, we don't have 226 communes anymore. We have 23 groupings mostly. When I came back to the agency, I had to redo my whole geographical database. So 23 groupings, 8 master plans, and that lends weight. That lends a lot of weight. So communal groupings, well, you may have heard about the airport that's in the pipeline. Well, I mean, anyway. I like this chart. It's something that was drawn up for... It's an INSEE chart. I'm not going to talk about it. So that was a request made by the departmental council that asked our agency, ORAN, to design its mobility references. We had carte blanche about our diagnosis. Then the master plan may not have fully agreed with that, but we drew up a series of graphs showing that maybe the peri-urban areas were a new world. There are trains also in the peri-urban. I know that a lot of people are going to talk about stations. Now, INSEE said, based on the National Transport and Travel Survey of 2008, it's saying that the peri-urban is in yellow. There's more peri-urban areas than rural areas. And that's not including all the coastlines. That's quite extraordinary. And maybe it is a new world. And thinking about it, I think it's a new world. It's not America, but I'm thinking about Newfoundland here. It would be a sort of a new name for it. It's a new world. But anyway, I love this new world since I've been working about it, and I mean the urban core is too expensive, and so I'm really aggravated here because expensive prices forced me to leave Nantes, and since big cities do not know peri-urban dwellers, that helped me play my role to my client Petropol. So at what speed are we going to accelerate this better knowledge of peri-urbanites? Because when people leave Nantes, they don't go elsewhere. They go to Paris, and Parisians don't know the rest of France. They go to Rome or London. But we need to make a few education efforts for people who are mostly involved in metropolitan areas, because without peri-urban areas, there are nothing. And the Nantes metropolis drives the full department, but it's only effective functionally if everything is organized to give routing, deep routing to the peri-urban with stations and railroads and so on. So that's the INSEE map. So my question regarding speed won't be a question, the same question as motorists, but will we be fast enough? My obsession will be fast enough in avoiding replicating errors or correcting excesses in the peri-urban. It's like America. There are a lot of cars, 3 or 4 cars per household. Well, cars are great. So, of course, there will be excesses, as it was the case in the city. Will we be able to correct these excesses fast enough? Because they are beginning to get corrected in city centers. So we won't. We'll have hardly completed the job in urban centers that will have to do that in peri-urban centers. So what are the strategies, what are the resources, and at what speed are we going to move? This is a real speed war. Next chart, please. Please use the clicker. Please use the remote control. Okay, I'm the boss here. Great. So for the département, I won't go into the details, but we have 5 levers. Number 5, it's a matter of behavior, new technologies. It works well. We've already addressed it, so I won't talk about it. But it's not enough. Lever number 3, the gentleman from the Transport Authority didn't come. Well, that's too bad because, well, we move further, but then transport operators have to find ways to make it work. And that's hard to make it work because you'd have to invest vast amounts of money that we never had in the first place. So, number 1, territorial development. Can we do anything without territorial development, i.e. trying to address the increasing travel distances with creating more polarization? Having villages. I didn't like people replacing the word village with club. I mean, we need urban villages. It's great as a driving force. A France of villages is great. So how could we go forward if we don't have polarization, better balance between residential areas, working areas and services? So never forget about one. We'll never go anywhere. Without it, that will be like pissing in the wind, says the speaker. This master plan is very important, given the distances traveled. So, lever number 2. This is what I'm going to talk about, and I know Frédéric Héran will talk about it. We want to promote walking and cycling. So how do you improve the environment everywhere? Even in the desert you can do that. In peri-urban is just another way to have a city. So what's important is to have proximity, and local authorities love that. It works pretty well, they buy that. So that's for kids, that's for the elderly. I'm going to become elderly soon. I mean, Jean-Michel is working on crutches right now, so I mean, a lot of people are talking, not a lot of people are acting, but now we need to act. And there. That's what I would like to have. You may criticize it. I'm not going to take questions anyway, but it's between 15 to 27% market share. We've started from nothing, hardly any cycling, 2.5%. That's peanuts. That's a disgrace, really. Why aren't there more bikes in France? Where's the bike plan by the government? We've been waiting for it for 42 years. 13% walking. Well, of course, as you can see, the departmental roads are very hard to walk by with SUVs zooming past and so on. But anyway, that's insane. We want 10 to 15 25% even. So these are complex challenges, and I like this wording. We can't find an exit without simple strategies. So I have 5 minutes left. Okay. Oh my gosh. So we need to replace a territory-based logic with a flow-based logic. So the territory logic will impose its own rationale on people, kids, elderly, disabled people, and we need to replace it with a flow-based logic, which is really ubiquitous in France. And so the tool that I was talking about, it's a strategic tool. The speed regulation plan, a speed control plan, well, people don't like the word regulation, I mean, but it needs to be intercommunal because the communal scale is no longer the right one. You need to address groupings of municipalities. So I call it PMVI. We had a commission by a grouping of municipalities where there's going to be an airport built. It has 12 municipalities. And now the general method. Here you have 3 towns, removing everything that would let you recognize them to identify the main lanes and roads. In the territory that comes from the urban planning master plans, which are the expression of the projects of groupings and towns, is essential. So look at the yellow and orange spots here. So really to root that in the territory. Now you define new speed limits in urban areas, yellow areas. No debate here, truck drivers, motorists, and so on. These are all peaceful areas, 30 kilometers per hour. We've got everything we need for that in France. Is that 30 kilometers per hour everywhere? No. The main roads that are necessary to ensure smooth traffic for the economy, well, they go into these areas, and it's 50 kilometers per hour, but truly 50 kilometers per hour. But as soon as you've cleared the first stone house, because this is Brittany, then 30 kilometers per hour. The main roads that will slow down with a lot of speed regulation, that needs to be credible, a credible action here. Here now, in orange, now you add all the pedestrian and cycling plans, but you need to frame that, and it's hard to get the message across. I mean, it's only common sense. I don't understand why people don't get it, but maybe I'm wrong. In blue here, it's based on orange areas, dense urban areas, and here no debate either. It's 20 kilometers per hour. 30 is too much. And these are meeting areas. It's already provided for in legislation. It's all there in the legislation. And now this is what is being done at this grouping CCG. In orange, you've got the future airport. And so this is the map of main roads and the territory. That's 20% of the network, and we can do whatever we want on 70% of the road network. So I'll regulate my speed, and we can save time by going slower. Save time by going slower. This is what Talleyrand said. Slow down, coachman, I'm in a hurry. Slow down, coachman, I'm in a hurry. So, next slide here, you've got one town. So the framing is done at the grouping level, but here you can focus on a town. You've got the main roads. People tell me you can't touch that. Well, no. At the crossroads of the municipality here, I've got a meeting area. That's clever. I said, did I say that I wouldn't have any lorries inside? No, they simply have to follow the speed limits, which is 20 kilometers per hour. And, I mean, the elderly want to cross the road, so the lorry driver can wait a few minutes. So this means that in every city, we're doing that in all 20 towns, there's something between the town hall and the church. This is not done yet, but we have a project for all towns that is probably surprising, that will be innovative, and we want something like this right outside the church, and this is a retro innovative project. We're using the best from the past to design the best for the future. And this is what's most successful in my presentations. I mean, it sucks a bit because it's not the project at all, but this is a great meeting place. You've got two grandpas here and saying what happened in the fields, and the kids playing marbles, and the ladies having a chat as usual.
C'est pas gentil ça, Yann Le Gall,
So having public areas in peri-urban centers as in urban cores, we say that we need 12 main squares, in one main square in each town. And so this was the village side. But in the countryside, what about it? We are being told that departmental roads are for cars only, that we're lagging behind, and the villages are few and far between, and people will never cycle. And no, with my project, I've got a 3-kilometer radius around each village, and you can cycle everywhere. And at a reasonable speed, because you're cycling. And so what does it look like? This is a departmental road. I love this picture. It's a national survey. It's a picture of the Route de Rennes. Rennes Road. It's beautiful if you eliminate the barriers here. It's nice. It's very straight. But still, there's a nice white line in the middle. You can't see pedestrians. Well, there are tracks here, probably that the people sink in the mud a bit when it's rainy. But anyway, we'll need to transform it. It's going to cheap and quick. We remove the barriers. So my chart here. So 70 kilometers per hour. Oh, then people start thinking it's no longer 90 kilometers per hour, it's 70, reduce cut speed by 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. You get the picture. And it can be done according to legislation. And so this is what it looks like, very roughly a down and dirty rendition. I like these areas where you can cycle or walk. And we've removed the barriers as well as the central line. We've got the best departmental network in France. In France, we've got the second best departmental network in France, and you can have this or this. On a territory like ours, there are lots of areas where people can't cycle, but, well, what about Denmark? I mean, they cycle for hours there. Well, this is things that we do at our agency to make people want to buy our project. So peaceful, smooth. This is the question that we have. How fast are we moving towards a development in our extraordinary built environment to build departmental avenues and no longer roads? Thank you. Thank you so much, Yann Le Gall.
Den Rechten.